So hello, today I want to talk about progressive overload and code approaching. For example, I yesterday decided that I'm going to go for at least a week every day to the center of the city and code approach people, women, doesn't matter. So I'm going to tell a story of how it took me almost 2 hours to code approach a girl. So I went with my bicycle to the place. And first walked all the way through the central area with the bike in hand, with my hand on the steering wheel and controlling it where it goes. And I walked all the way to the end and returned without talking to. Did I talk to? No, I talked to a guy that was all dressed in yellow and stayed there like a statue to receive donations from passing buyers. And I talked to him to tell him you should get a phone and shoot yourself. Not shoot yourself. Take videos with your phone to post them on the internet for future use. And then I got all the way to the beginning and locked the bike in place and then put my headphones on. First with the bike, but before that with the bike I put headphones in and listened to Horizon, the theme song from Dying Light 1, and I felt kind of in the zone. But I didn't speak to anyone, didn't have the courage. And later when I locked the bike and put a different playlist on, a workout playlist, which started with a song made for Zeiss. In about 30 seconds, I know or don't know, I felt such feelings that I needed to move quicker, faster, and I started running. Taking into account that I have injuries to my knees, ankles, and a little bit to my hips. My right foot has plantar fasciitis, and so so I was very very inclined to believe that I'm going to run now because of the hype and motivation. Stupid passerbys. And so I felt amazing while doing the run. I tried to step as lightly as possible to not damage joints and ligaments, and tried to breathe only from my nose to limit the speed that I'm running with. I ran about 1 kilometer in less than 6 minutes, which was after I went home. I did the calculations and Google Maps and so on, and after that I splashed myself with water at the fountain and then started walking back. It was like amazing that I did something like that. I didn't feel pain in my joints, ligaments, and so on. And almost to the end, I didn't speak to anyone still. And I felt like what? I felt like after I sat down at a bench, I felt like my mind was clear, and I realized that even with headphones on, I couldn't muster up the courage to speak to someone. I need to take them out and be in the moment, to be present. And after I did that, I felt like my mind was so clear from the running, like I was in the moment so much that I couldn't believe it. I saw one girl with a really nice V-cut shirt or something, and I didn't speak to her. I felt really didn't muster up the courage. So I decided, I'm going to stand up. And it's very interesting how when I slowed down the pace and stopped walking, that before I sit down, that my feet were burning. The soles of my shoes were so hot because of it was around noon, slightly after noon, and the soles of my feet were so hot with the shoes. I was like, damn, what's going on here? And then after I sat down for a bit, I decided I'm going to stand up to find the target to approach. And so I thought a bit, and I had to, for example, look at them from afar and decide, do they have something that I'm interested in? Do they have any quality interesting? There were a couple that, for example, there was one that had looked like an American actress. I was like, what American actress does she look like? But I didn't speak to her even. I felt bad even for that. And then just before I put myself a limiting factor that I won't go home until I cold approach someone, or at least talk to someone there, like a female. And so I decided that, and even with my organism feeling crappy that I had to go to the toilet even, I said, no, I'm gonna stick through this and get out of my comfort zone to make that outside of comfort zone inside the comfort zone. So, two girls then, after a couple of minutes, came walking by, and I was like, these are going to be, and then I go home. And so I said, what did I say? Is there something interesting that you are talking about? They were like, actually yes. But they were like kind of out of it because they probably hadn't done this, hadn't been cold approached that much lately or in a long time. They were like, what was the word? Surprised. And yeah, I just got out of the shower, so my ears are still wet with water and earwax. Yeah, I made 3 or 4 sentences with them, and oh, I'm approaching you girls because I set a limitation to myself that I will go home after I speak with someone. And they were like, oh, okay, and started walking. And I said goodbye, have a nice day. And I got on my back end, and unlocking the bike with the chain, I felt like, damn, that adrenaline is a strong thing. And I was like shivering because of the excitement and I don't know, that the testosterone that was created, released and so on. And later with the bike ride, I even saw a mother and a daughter that I want to comment on her physique that looked like an hourglass. If she had any physical training or sports that she did beforehand, but I didn't muster up the courage. Then I said, I need to progressively overload this, not overdo it in one day, then don't have any energy for the next day to do it again. And so today I went to the same place again. Even further back, I locked the bike and started walking. But this time I had a plan because I visualized beforehand. Actually today I'm on a routine. I made up a routine in the habit tracker, put like habits but only times, and I rearranged my habits and times, and yeah, might show it in a different video later. And I did that, and today I feel like I was on a roll. I visualized after meditating and gratitude journaling, and journaling normally. I visualized that I take the camera with me, the Canon camera. It was like not professional, but not like those slim cameras, but a little bit thicker. I'm gonna move it now. This camera that I used for videos, I'm gonna use this one now. It's a Nokia phone, Nokia 6.1, I think it is. My father's old phone, and I saw that it actually records better than this thing. This thing takes better photos with the zoom, but the car's light lens actually works much better with the video recording section, because this has a lot of noise for video recording, which is quite strange. It is an old style sensor, of course, a CCD instead of a NMOS or what they were called. CMOS maybe. And yeah, stupid book from the garden. Yeah, today with the camera I had the idea to approach and take photos of the sights and scenes and get other people. I thought of women to take pictures of me, but I just made one guy right there that was near the scene. Could you take a picture of me? Oh, sure. I was kind of like, oh, how does this operate? Took a picture of me, then I walked a little bit more. There was a mini fountain, should I say, at one place, and there it was on steps, and I got the highest place, and there was no one that was walking by and so on, and I felt really comfortable there and started taking really interesting pictures. Not slow-mos, but taking picture with a high shutter speed, for example 1/2000th of a second, 1/2500th of a second, and they get really, there was water flowing, and if you do a fast enough shutter you get the water looking like it's still in one position. For example, there is a thumbnail on this channel for cold showers, a video where I took a shutter speed of 1/60th, I think, yeah, and you can see the water in the shower head, how it stays like drops and it's not like a continuous flow. The other stay on topic. So I visualized, yeah, got one guy and then 14-year-old girl, or 14, with a couple of her friends. I talked to the whole group and could you take a picture of me next to this sign of the city name? Yeah. And one of them was like, sure, to the camera. I posed onto the name of the city. She took the 2 pictures and said bye bye. Like kind of anxious that we would continue talking to them. I don't feel much better because I was getting into a flow state, should I say. Then there was another fountain that was huge. I took pictures there. Did a couple of more experiments with shutter speeds for moving LED lights, and yeah. So then I went home and yes, it. Next day again. I'm planning to do that again next day, either with a camera or just talking to random people. Yeah. I'm gonna visualize.